One of the more curious phenomena of teenage life in the 90s was the appearance of the skater. These guys didn't just ride a skateboard to get around, it was a whole look. Certain clothes, certain way of carrying yourself and talking. My daughters enjoyed years and years of making fun of them. But sometimes skateboarding isn't all fun and games. That's a nice board, and he's obviously good at riding it. And we know him. We haven't seen him on this channel before, but that's because he came along after most all the shows that we review here. His name was Jonathan Brandis, and yes, I said was. He hit his peak when he starred in Neverending Story 2 and had a steady role in the futuristic series Sequest 2032. Things kind of fell off after that, and he was hoping for a comeback with a big role in a movie called Heart's War. It didn't happen because most of his scenes ended up on the cutting room floor and he was barely in the film. That was too much for him. He slipped into a deep depression and took his own life at the age of 27. Once again, I have to plead with everyone out there. This thing, whatever it is, has not defeated you, and it doesn't have to. There are people who care and who are there for you. So please, before you do anything, talk to someone. Reach out or let them reach out to you. You are not alone. Please know that and let us help you. Because whatever it is, it might be bigger than you, but it's not bigger than all of us. Let us be your strength, please. The world needs you, and it's incomplete if you leave it. Don't give in to the demons. Together we can whip them and send them back where they came from. You can get through this, and every one of us is here to assist you. Please let us.
My knee! Oh my God, my knee!
Sorry, son, I didn't see you coming. Are you all right?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, help me up, will you, mister?
Come on.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay.
You sure?
Yeah, listen, thanks for your help.
I'm sorry.
Chump.
Chump? What did he mean by... Hey! Hey! He took my wallet.
I never understood why men carry their wallets in such an easy-to-pick spot in the first place. He really is a chump. This is how our boy survives. Lucky for him, there are lots of careless people in the city.
Hi there.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Him, for example. His name is Philip Sullivan, and he's a reporter.
Yes.
This is your wake-up call, Sullivan. Wake up and dig the bum trip you're about to take.
Bum trip? Who is this? Where are you calling from? 1968? Who is this?
Listen, man. Kill the Lesko story before the Lesko story kills you.
I'm gonna say the story is in that knapsack the kid stole.
Turn on, tune in, drop out.
She really was calling from 1968. We have some folks here that couldn't let go of the hippie era. Sorry, chick, but by 1980, this stuff was nowheresville. That's what happens when the wild kids grow up. As Paul said, when I was a child, I thought and acted like a child. When I became a man, I left that stuff behind. Looks like these folks didn't get the memo.
Oh, then let's go. There was one problem. You know the computer disk with all of Sullivan's notes on it? Some kid swiped it.
And now we have a fair idea where the story is going. Sullivan's wife, Joan, is a friend of Tina's.
Oh, the Arkham expose, I remember that. He was some writer.
The best. But you know, Phil always hated these awards.
He called them bowling trophies. It never stopped him from letting me put them up.
Joan, I'm so sorry.
Nobody has any idea who killed him or why. Barry is on the case, and he'll be like a bulldog. He won't let go until he has some answers.
Look at this dress. It took me an hour to get the dog hair off.
Oh, Joan's a vet, Barry.
Bill always said that it would be impossible to have children because they'd have to compete with the animal kingdom. Bill hated me in black. He said I looked like someone died.
Oh, Joan.
Joan isn't handling it too well, but you can't blame her. I remember what a wreck my mother was when my dad died suddenly, and that was just a heart attack, not murder. Tina is doing this right. Hold her and let her ramble. Later, Barry is out walking Earl.
Whoa! Hey, Earl! Earl, come on! Hey, don't we get enough of that? Huh?
Sorry to be the one to tell you this, but Earl is a much bigger fan of Batman than he is of the Flash.
You just keep wasting my time, DeVivier. All you give is talk. Hey, will you relax? All right? And you, if you don't take that foot off of my bumper, I'm gonna chew it off at the ankle. Thank you. Look, we are setting the next major trend in the drug market here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I think we know these guys.
Most all the police know Duvivier, including the 2 undercover cops he's selling to.
This is blue paradise. The clouds of heaven are now being sold right here on Earth. Even for a guy like you, though, the first one's always free. Beautiful. Good. You're under arrest.
And you're too close to him. If he has good reflexes, he can take that gun away from you before you know what happened. Take one giant step backwards.
Hey, ladies, not on the car, all right?
Duvivier is very proud of his car, by the way.
Don't look at me like that.
We saw that injector thingy go down the drain, but he can still get these guys for assault on a police officer. They'll do some time. Too bad there's no evidence left to put Duvivier away, but they'll arrest him and hassle him a little anyway.
I don't get it. Sullivan's editor said he was working on a piece about this blue paradise drug, but there was nothing even related to it in his files.
Maybe someone killed him and then cleaned out the evidence.
I don't know, Julio. Only fingerprints on the files were his own. I guess I should get back to the lab.
Yeah, I got a lunch date with Sabrina. We're going to some new place called Exotica. You ever eat a poached ostrich egg?
I have not, would not, will not.
Hey, me neither, man. Strictly turtle eggs Benedict for me. Thank you.
I love Eggs Benedict. Every new place I try for breakfast, I have to try theirs. Now I need to find a place that uses turtle eggs because I'm insanely curious. But for one brief moment since his accident, Barry isn't thinking about food.
Lose your keys?
Yeah, I mean, my dad did. He's always locking them in the car. He's a doctor, and he needs his bag because there's a sick baby across the street in the building.
Cool story, kid, but you forgot a chapter.
It sounds serious to me. Maybe I can help you out.
Wrong car. Help! Somebody call the cops! Police!
Yeah, that'd be redundant. Let's haul him in.
Can I tell you something, Bellows? What's that, Murph? Bean dip is my world, man.
Really? Well, so is lard, cholesterol, salt, and cancer.
Just a salt?
Book this little hoodlum for attempted theft. Auto.
That could put him in juvenile detention for the rest of his childhood.
Oh, nice collar, Bear. Anybody killed?
A young delinquent. It's truly a shame.
Let me go, huh? I'm a victim of society.
Hey, keep your eye on this one, Bellows, while I get an officer from juvenile hall.
You got it.
If you can do that and eat at the same time.
All right, young man, can you say, I'm in big trouble? What are you doing? Hey, this is a no-smoking area.
Hey, kid, at your size, you can't afford to stunt your growth. Put that thing out. Last kid that did that's now called Stumpy.
I'm not sure I want to know what he means by that. Face it, Murph, he did you a favor.
Terry Cohen, age 13. He ran away from a foster home in St. Louis 9 months ago.
got a history of running away, surviving on petty theft.
A kid like that living on the street for 9 months? What's the procedure from here, Carmen?
Well, if he's drug-free and if his foster parents want him and if we can convince the St. Louis authorities to pick up the tab, he'll be sent back. The paperwork will take a week. Till then, he'll be locked up.
Barry just wanted to put a scare into the kid, not actually send him to juvie. But what's the alternative? As if we can't guess.
Look, Barry, you can drop the charges, but I'll still have to take him to juvenile hall. Unless Terry can stay with a responsible guardian until we can contact his foster parents. Say, you've got one of those nice big warehouse apartments, don't you?
Yeah, it's big.
And a dog that loves kids.
Oh, yeah, Earl loves kids. No, Carmen, wait a minute. No, you don't think that I'm the right guy for this?
Send me to jail, all right? Just save me from another bleeding heart.
You're wrong, Terry. He wants to help the kid get onto the right track, but taking the kid into his home is a little more than he thought he signed up for. He's not a bleeding heart, he's a confused heart.
Hey, isn't that a bank robbery going on over there?
A bank robbery? There's no bank in that.
He doesn't realize how easy it is for Barry to follow him.
Corey! What the hell are you doing here?
Well, I'm just trying to give you a break, kid, all right? So, this is some place you got here.
Corey, hey! Taught her everything I know. My sister.
Oh, I love this kid already. If that smile doesn't carry her all the way to the top of the acting pile, it should. Except she has her own way of defining the top. Her name is Remy Ryan, though later on she started using her real name, Remy Hernandez. She's still active, but she does things on her own terms. If she wants to take a 10-year hiatus from acting, she does. She chooses the role she wants and rejects the ones she doesn't. It would appear that this lady lives life on her own terms, and anybody who doesn't like it can get out of her way. You have to admire that. She was 6 years old when she made this, by the way, and she was already a 2-year acting veteran. She started when she was 4 doing commercials. If you see this person in a show or commercial, let your mind harken back to this adorable child with the heart-melting smile. While they're getting settled into Barry's place, let's check in on Hippie Central.
Let's go.
Never disturb me when I'm working. Never.
Sorry.
Well, is our greasy little pusher out of jail yet?
DeVivier should be free tomorrow. The pigs lost the evidence. They'll never make anything stick. Why do you even keep him around? He's...
DeVivier is like a one-celled organism driven by a single thought. Greed.
And his car. Don't forget the car. He gets the drugs into the hands of the addicts. That's what matters with DeVivier. Lesko is more concerned about Sullivan's story still being out there, waiting for someone to publish it.
Pepper, 20 years of life underground have made me a very cautious man. If the cops find out I'm still alive...
I checked around. That kid on the skateboard, the one that took Sullivan's bag, he works Helltown as a pickpocket and a shoplifter.
Then why aren't you searching Helltown?
Word's out he got pinched by the man.
Then in the morning, go down to the police station and find out where he is.
How am I going to do that?
That's your problem. Lesko has his own issues.
One of the fabulous properties of Brew Paradise. It's the rush. Pepper.
As I said, Lesko has his own issues. He's got his nose in his own product. Ask Tony Montana how that works out. This stuff is not only the most powerful hallucinogen out there, it's impossibly addictive. All the user can think about is getting the next dose. and its creator here is no exception.
And kill the kid.
Let's go.
Never disturb me when I'm laughing.
I don't get the purpose of killing the kid. It's likely that he has no idea what he grabbed, and if he did, he probably wouldn't understand it.
Free surprise.
Hey, let me see that, all right?
Hey,
Look, hey, come on, Corey, this isn't a toy, all right?
Dinner's ready.
Our secret. All right?
Okay.
Terry can figure out that there's something important on it, or the owner wouldn't have stashed it in an unlikely place like that.
Sorry I'm late.
No problem. Terry, Corey, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. This is Tina.
Hi.
I'd rather be with Earl.
Corey!
So, Barry, huh? This your new squeeze, huh?
No, this is not my new squeeze. She's a good friend of mine, like I told you. Come on.
Hey, well, you know, that's a relief, okay? Because she's too fine a babe for a dipstick like you.
Well, thank you, I think.
When he's right, he's right.
You volunteered for this?
I don't have a mommy.
Oh, that's so sad.
Isn't it? I'd feel better if you gave me $100. Come on, Earl. Earl, come on. Here's some.
Whoa! Look out!
If she hasn't captured your heart yet, you may want to see a doctor to be sure you have one. Tina wants to know what he intends to do with them while he's at the lab. He can't take them with him, and the local circus doesn't have an animal trainer anymore.
What about Joan?
I don't know. She's got a lot on her mind these days, don't you think?
She loves kids, Barry. Maybe having a couple around would do her good.
These two?
She's a vet.
That's close to an animal trainer. Joan said Philip never wanted to have kids. He said they'd always be competing with the animals at her clinic. And we got the distinct feeling that Joan really wanted kids. The next day, a distraught woman appears in the juvenile services department looking for her runaway son.
Do you have an aspirin or something? A glass of water?
Sure. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
We won't see the agent's reaction when she comes back and the lady is gone. It seems these people never learn not to leave the room when there's a citizen near sensitive personal information. If this was the 60s, I could understand, but in 1990, everybody should know better. Tisk, tisk, officer. And that paper told her the kid is staying with a cop named Barry Allen. Joan is delighted to take the kids for a while. They can help her at the clinic. Barry needs to ask her a few things about Phil.
What was your husband working on?
We had a rule at home. Work stays at the office. The only thing I do know is that he had been bringing home a lot of dead files. Stuff from college.
Were there any notes, an address book, anything like that?
Phil lived out of his file data, and he had that with him in the car.
I'm not clear exactly what she said. It sounded something like file-a-data. I'm guessing that's a commercial name for something because we couldn't afford the rights to refer to the daytimer by name. When we finally see this thing, it'll be obvious that's what it is. For several decades, television did this. They'd take a well-known product and give it a fictional name. We've seen many times that they often did the same thing with places and people. I never understood the dynamic behind that, because if you have a show like this that people watch, I'd think the daytimer people would be happy for some free publicity. By 1990, a lot of the TV shows were moving away from that and actual names of real people, places, and things, but I guess this show was a little slow to hop on the bandwagon.
Oh, no! Oh, gosh! Oh, come on! Oh, God! Oh, come on! Let's get out of here! Let's get out! Come on, you go! Let's go! Out!
How big is this clinic? If they were all in cages, I hope she has a Segway to get around the place.
This is not a good idea, young lady. These are not stuffed animals.
Andale.
Hey, and as for you young men, you are old enough to know better. They looked cramped, so sue me. That cuts no ice with me. These are sick animals. You might have hurt them. Just for this, you're both walking Brutus.
Brutus is just like them. Not very big, but a double handful.
Summer of Love is here again. Candles. Hey, incense. Peppermint. Spare change.
Got a job, hippie.
got a job.
Hey, Pepper. This is West. I found the kid you're looking for.
His name really is West. Adam West, Batman himself. He's doing a voice, but from certain angles, it's hard to miss him.
Hi! Cute dog.
Watch out, he's an attack dog.
Wow. Listen, I'm kind of lost. Do you know the way to the waterfront?
Yeah, follow the seagulls. Come on, Corey.
There's this handy thing called a map. You can find them at most of the stores around you.
Hey, I'll never find it by myself. How about taking a ride showing me the way?
You crazy? Get lost.
I've got a gun in my purse. Get in the van.
Brutus, attack!
You can't say the kid didn't warn you. She has to report to Lesko that a small dog defeated her. Honestly, I'd rather take on a Doberman or a Rottweiler than some of these little yappers, where a big dog will come at you and you can grab him and throw him aside. These little bitty things move like F-15s and never stop nipping and clawing. They'll turn your ankles to shredded wheat before you know what happened. If you don't believe me, just ask Pepper.
Beat, man. Yeah, well, Corey's on my bed, Terry's on the couch, and I'm on the floor with Earl. And he snores.
So you're the one who wanted to play Bachelor Father.
Bachelor Father was a sitcom that began in 1957 and ran for 5 seasons. Julio wasn't even an idea when it was on, but maybe he's into nostalgic TV.
Sullivan murder.
Yeah.
Think it was a mob hit?
Nah, no way. Bomb was amateur night, man. I mean, you could pick up that stuff from any hardware store. Radicals in the 60s used to build them. But those guys aren't around anymore.
Yeah, but Sullivan was onto that Blue Paradise story. Maybe he crossed a drug dealer or two.
I need his notes, you know. They're in his file of data, and that went up in the blast.
No, it didn't. File of data is made out of leather, and the only leather we found at the crime scene were from his shoes.
Well, that's interesting. That means somebody has it. He just has to sort out who.
You were careless, de Vivier. Don't ever sell my wares to people you don't know.
Come on, let's go. The cops, they had nothing on me. I mean, I'd never give your name up. You know that. They're just part of the equation.
He is not listening. When you're dealing with somebody like Lesko, that's a bad idea.
I have been at this since before you were even a bad idea, and I've never let the law be a part of any equation.
What about the Flash? What am I supposed to do about him?
The Flash. You sure you're not hallucinating?
Hallucinating? Let's go. I don't hallucinate. I think you're confusing me with one of your brain-dead hippies here. And who dresses you guys anyway? It ain't the 60s anymore.
There was a whole lot less peace and love back then than you think.
Could you watch the car? I just had it redone.
If I'm Lesko, I pull out a gun and shoot a couple of holes in his precious car. But he needs de Vivier for now. He has big plans.
Thank you.
As I said, big plans. Much bigger than those little atomizer things he plays with.
The idea, de Vivier, is to make people die if they don't get their paradise. Not if they do. Now go and spread my gospel. I want everyone to share my dreams and my nightmares.
Sure, Lesko. I better get going while you do that. Jimmy F. Skaggs is playing Lesko, and he's scary enough that I may come close to wetting myself. He was one of those solid, multi-talented character actors who made shows like this. If he's not convincing, the whole story goes pfft. He is convincing, let me tell you.
De Vivier's, it's moving too slowly. I need to find a way to gas the entire city. A population of addicts thanking me with their bank accounts for admitting them to paradise.
A temporary paradise is no paradise at all. It's an illusion. All drugs are that way. They offer temporary pleasure or relief or whatever, and they all leave you wanting more. The best way to deal with any of them is for the drugs to be in one place and you to be in another place far away from them.
Washing cats, shampooing dogs, this has to be the boringest day ever spent.
Well, Corey enjoyed it.
Yeah, she was just being polite.
Kids her age don't know how to do that. They're brutally honest and have no filter. If she said she enjoyed it, she enjoyed it.
Oh, is that why she asked Joan to let her close up? You know? Went right by me. Hey, listen, since it's just us, why don't we go out for a pizza, huh? Or 4?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you're making a mistake, you know? I mean, you stick us in a foster home, we're out of here. Me and Corey are better on our own.
You think so?
When'd you leave home?
When I was 19, for college.
You going back?
No, of course not.
You get my point?
No, not really. He left home because he was grown and ready to move on to the next step in his life. The only similarity between his experience and yours is you're both dudes.
Okay, baby, we're on.
Wow, yeah!
Barry's unconscious, which suggests to me that he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. Barry's a cop. He knows better. And now the bad guys have Terry. Now about that puke green van they used. I once had a car that color. I'm proud to say I was not the one who had it painted. The car was given to me, so I couldn't argue much. And I still don't understand why that color was ever popular. It does have one advantage. It's easy to spot. But that's an advantage for the Flash, not for the guys driving.
You can't get away with this! My dad's a cop!
Might want to check the van. I think you lost something. Even though there's a dozen things wrong with the physics of that, it was delightful. Terry thinks so too, especially when he sees that both hippies are out cold.
You guys should have worn your seatbelts.
When you get back to his place, you need to tell Barry the same thing.
Flash!
Never accept rides from strangers.
You could find yourself all tied up with problems. You know that one's bad enough that I had to do it.
I'm telling you guys, I saw him.
Blurry, kind of like a red ghost?
Yeah, it's him.
Sure. Why don't you two form a club? You can join too, Alan. I never seen him.
They hire you on a jerk quota, Murphy?
That's 2.
Barry's telling the truth. When he's working as the Flash, there's no time to look in a mirror. Terry has no idea who these people are. They both have a lot of drug busts on their records, but Terry's no fool. He stays away from drugs.
Hey, come on, I'm not that stupid. My life is hard enough.
A rare moment of candor. That's the first sign that he's starting to trust Barry.
Barry, those 2 guys you brought in are freaking out in lockup.
Stay here, Terry.
By the time Barry gets there, they're catatonic. They almost appear to be dying.
Barry, look out! Time to die, friend.
And just like that, they are dead. Both of them.
What the hell are they on?
Blue Paradise.
They made it to paradise all right, they hope.
Terry, take your little sister upstairs.
Yeah.
Get her ready for bed, all right?
Good night, Corey. Thank you. You were great with Mrs. Galuccia's weird dog.
What a knucklehead.
No kidding. See you tomorrow.
Barry,
Yes, sweetheart.
we don't get to stay here forever.
I'm afraid not, Corey. But listen, maybe we can find you someplace you can.
Yeah, right.
When the foster system makes a kid her age that cynical, the whole thing needs to be torn down and rebuilt from scratch. Realizing these are kids this time, not numbers on a spreadsheet for some bean counter to manipulate.
Well, she's all cocked out. You know, Alan, you're all out of potato chips and stuff.
I wonder why. Listen, Terry, I've been talking to the cops down in Helltown, and it seems they're looking for a skateboard snatch and run artist. Could that be you?
Well, yeah. He fesses up to it and admits he grabbed a bag out of the car that turned out to be Sullivan's. But that's the end of his cooperation.
You know, you're a really good dog, Alan. You know that? I mean, you take us into your house. You let us trust you. All this social worker crap just to give me the cops some boosts,
Oh,
huh?
man, you are way off.
Well, the hell with that, man, and the hell with you, okay?
Why don't you give me a break?
Me and Corey got along just fine before you came along. Nobody wants us, and we don't need you.
I am trying to help you.
Look, the only one in this whole stinking town who hasn't been jabbing me is the Flash.
Oh, you want to hear it from the Flash? You got it, kid.
The Flash? What are you doing here?
Keeping an eye on you. You've made a lot of enemies.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You definitely saved my bacon back there. How do you do it? The speed, I mean.
It just happens. You want to check it out?
Are you serious?
Just keep your balance.
How many skaters would sell their adenoids to do that? After the most incredible ride ever is done, it's time for some advice.
The word on the street, you do almost anything to protect your sister. What happens to her if you end up in juvenile hall?
Hey, I'm not gonna get busted.
Don't kid yourself. Look, I know life's been hard for you, but you can't do it alone. Find someone to trust. Someone who can help you. Because what you're involved in is bigger and more dangerous than you know.
All right, man, listen, I'm not...
You may find that someone upstairs with your sister.
I never went through the bag. All I wanted was the doll, Corey.
Yes, here it is. I'll tell you one thing. We're a lot closer now to figuring this whole mess out.
Score! That's one of the sprayers, and it's loaded with blue paradise. What's in this stuff?
Well, I analyzed the blue paradise. It's an extremely powerful hallucinogen euphoric.
With a healthy load of amphetamine for a boost.
Even the smallest amount could rewire your head.
Yeah, I've seen a few rewired heads lately. Rewired to death.
Holy cannoli, I wonder how many people would try it if they knew that. While they weren't looking, Terry was making a copy of the disc that he still hasn't told Barry about.
Julio, look at this. I accessed the file from the Central City Library. Check it out.
So what, this isn't news?
Yeah, but this is. FAA report. The plane went down over the Pacific. No bodies were ever recovered. The only evidence that Lesko was ever on that plane was his signature on the charter.
No bodies plus nobody saw him on the plane equals, hey, wait a minute.
What's this?
Only the most advanced hallucinogen I've ever come across. It fries your brain before you ever want to kick the habit. Nobody but Lesko could have synthesized it.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
I think Lesko faked his own death and then went underground. Now he's back bigger than ever. I'm sure that's what Sullivan discovered, and it cost him his life.
As we know, he was right, and it's up to Barry and company to make sure his last story is told. Step one is make sure those kids are safe until Terry coughs up everything he took from Sullivan's car. For starters, there's a squad car parked in front of his place.
Why can't I go with you?
Because it's business, Corey, okay?
What kind of business?
I'm gonna sell something to a guy. And with the money he gives me, it's enough to take care of us for a long time.
This is a really bad idea, but at least he's not being naive about it. He gives her the copy of the disc as insurance and makes her promise not to tell anyone about it unless he doesn't come back. Then she's to give it to Barry.
Does Barry know about this?
No. No, Barry's all right. He's a great guy, but sooner or later he's gonna have to put us in a foster home. But with the money I'll get, hey, we can go wherever we want, and no one's gonna tell us what to do.
And if he believes it'll go down that way, he is not ready to live without a guardian of some kind. There are 1,000 things he hasn't thought of.
Let's go chill out. I've been sitting outside his apartment all night. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and... I know! But there's a cop car parked right out in front. What am I gonna do? Wait a minute. Something's going down.
She's been there all day, so I'd like to know why those cops haven't checked out the suspicious chick in the You Can't Be Serious van.
Okay.
Where did you come from?
I called a false alarm, all right? By the time they figure that one out, we'll be out of here. Just take me to Lesko.
His price is reasonable. He only wants $1 million for the disc.
Now, it's true that you have something that I want. But if I dose you with Blue Paradise, I'll have something that you want. You'll be so desperate for another fix, you'll sell your own sister. And then maybe I'll give you more. But not until you give me the second disc. And I promise you, you will hand it over gladly.
Remember those 1,000 things he didn't think of? That's one of them. He has one of his goons hold Terry down.
Relax, Terry. You're going to have lots of company. I've filled enough canisters to strap to a half-dozen choppers I've got standing by. Imagine a shimmering cloud of paradise drifting over Central City as she sleeps. And come tomorrow morning, we'll have a town full of addicts.
But right now, Pepper is going to get Terry started down that road.
Ready to get turned on, Junior.
Is it okay if I just say no?
How many of us remember Nancy Reagan and her Just Say No campaign? We had that. We had the DARE campaign. They were trying their very best. But if you have a disease that gives you explosive flatulence, you don't treat the gas, you treat the disease. You go to the cause of the problem. That's what none of the anti-drug campaigns of the 20th century ever did. None of the anti-drug campaigns of the 21st century are doing it either, and that's why we still have a drug problem. Barry and crew have been burning up the phone lines trying to figure out where Terry went.
Corey, listen to me. If you know anything at all about this, you must tell me.
I can't. I promised Terry.
But Terry could get hurt, so we have to help him.
He went to sell something and get big bucks.
Sell what?
One of these.
A dragon?
No, this.
Let's pay another visit to Duvivier.
Excuse me, could I speak to you two ladies for a second? Don't worry about the line. I'll get you in. I know the owner. We're good friends. I was just wondering if you two girls would maybe like to take a little trip to paradise.
So much for your precious car. I never understood being so fanatical about a box that carries you from point A to point B. That's all a car is, let's face it. It's humanity's preferred method for not wearing our feet out. That's why I'm selective about what I put into a car and what I put on it. I'll put enough money into it to keep it running. I might put a few stickers on it with cute pictures or things like Black Lives Matter. I don't do political stickers. For one thing, they accomplish zilch. For another, they're obsolete in a few months, and then you either get to scrape them off or drive around looking like you never got over something. I also don't do things like those memorial decals you see on some car windows. Why not? Because I'm going to have that car, what, maybe 5 years if I'm lucky? And what happens to the memorial when the car goes? If I'm making a memorial like that, I'm going to put it someplace more permanent than a car. Duvivier apparently sank his whole life into that car, but he doesn't have time to think about that right now.
Get off me, man. You got nothing on me. I'm clean. You're dirty as the drugs you deal. Now tell me where Lesko is. Lesko, what's Lesko? I can take you apart faster than a car. No tools required.
All right, it's the old Fillmore Central downtown.
Thanks.
Who knows? Maybe they'll let you spend your years in prison trying to put your car back together. I'd think about getting cable if it meant I could watch that.
Wow. What a trip.
What is that? Just a bad flashback, Lesko.
Terry, take off.
How many 13-year-old kids can say they helped the Flash take down a major drug ring? I can think of one. And somehow it's not surprising that he knows a little about boxing. It'll affect him, but his super metabolism will process it in a few seconds, so he shouldn't have the problem of addiction. On the other hand, if it makes him do that, it could come in handy sometimes.
Hey, Flash, you okay?
Yeah, I think so. Lesko hit me with some of that paradise, but I think I burned it out of my system.
You went to that brick wall like a ghost.
Yeah, I guess my molecules were vibrating so quickly I passed right through the wall.
Remember when Superman did the same thing without drugs? But now that he knows he can do that, he should explore it more, after he finishes with Lesko.
Hey, let's go! You ready to rock?
The loud noise will take them all down. I wish I was making that up because it's about as anticlimactic as anything I've ever seen. It does prove one thing, though. John Wesley's ship does not know how to play the guitar. The kids are getting ready to hop a bus to New York. We don't know what's there, but I get the feeling Corey is ready for a change.
Thanks for everything. I'll send you a postcard.
All right, here you go.
Bye, Daddy.
So long, sweetheart.
Come on, Corey, let's get out of here.
Hey, wait. Joan came here to see you, all right?
Joan, you coming to New York with me and Terry?
I don't think so. But I might have a better idea. How would the both of you like to come live with me?
If you didn't see that coming, turn in your reviewer card. Terry knows a setup when he sees one.
Come on, Corey, let's get out of here.
Terry!
All right, let's do one fine, all right? I'm going to New York.
Whoa, Terry, wait a minute. I've known you for a few days, all right? And I know you're a tough guy. Are you tough enough to do the right thing?
Because at the moment, you're not being tough. You're scared. Scared of change, scared of being bounced from one place to another, scared of being burned again. We all get it. But sooner or later, you're going to have to depend on someone else. You already did. Remember the Flash? If he hadn't come along, you'd be one of Lesko's zombies, and Corey would be alone and vulnerable. Think about that.
Okay, all right, for Corey. but only under one condition.
What?
Next person who asks me to shampoo a cat dies.
I'm with him on that. There's a reason I take her to a groomer instead of trying to do it myself. I like my skin right here on my hands where it belongs. Thank you very much.
Hey friends, I hope you're enjoying my look at The Flash. If you like it, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you really like it, consider becoming a patron. $2 a month gets you extra content like Hogan's Heroes and It's About Time. $5 a month gets you that and more, so take a look. The link is down there in the description. I also do lots of other stuff, so take a moment to look it over. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
After most of the... From certain... Yeah, sure, good grief. Or a big dog will come at you. Dog. I can pronounce dog. If you don't believe me... If you don't believe... It's a suspicion. Anticlimactic... That wasn't so hard, was it?